Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, a new planty video. It is me, Desiree, and if you can't tell, this little baby is what we are going to be talking about today. This is going to be an update on my Monstera Thai Constellation. It's been about 2 months since I bought this. So I bought this on Walmart.com. It was from the brand Wild Interiors, and I've purchased a bunch of plants from Wild Interiors over the last year or so, and I've loved all the plants I've gotten from them. It seems like they put a lot of care, time, and effort into their plants as well as their pots, and I love them. It kind of depends on where you buy it, because if you're going to Lowe's, the plants are going to be jacked up most of the time. But buying it online, this was my first time buying a plant from them online, and it arrived in great shape. I did unbox it here on my channel. I'll put that down below in case you just want to see how they're going to ship it, how it's going to look, and if it showed up okay. It showed up great. It was $199, the most expensive plant I've ever purchased. So I babied this plant. I did not repot it for a couple of weeks because I don't normally follow any plant rules. I'll repot whenever I want to, winter, I don't care. But this plant, I was like, I'm gonna follow all of the rules. My boyfriend even told me, you better follow all the rules with that plant. So I did. I did repot it for a couple weeks. I put it in a terracotta pot I left it in the soil that it came in, but I also I threw in an orchid bark mix and like a regular houseplant mix. I kind of just mixed them together so it'd be a little more chunky, because I was really worried about this plant getting root rot. I'm usually not worried about any of my plants getting root rot, but this one was expensive, so I'm very worried about it. It does need to be watered today, but I thought I would show you this before it got all heavy and wet and drippy. This is what it's currently looking like, and it did grow one leaf. In my unboxing video, I did show that there was a little growth point coming out, and this is a leaf that grew. Look at it, it's perfect. It's got a whole white side here, fenestrations, and a nice marbled texture, a nice marbled look on the other half of the leaf there. Unfortunately, the leaf did grow right in between two leaves, so it's kind of like stuck here in the middle. But I think over time the stem will grow or something, and it'll kind of make its way around the plant. This plant does seem to love the light. So during the summer and before it got super cold and I didn't want to keep it in the window anymore, I was keeping this one in the windowsill of my south-facing window. So it was getting sun all day, and I think that's really what helped this leaf grow so quickly. Maybe grow the fenestrations, I don't know. That's kind of what I heard, is that giving it more light will help it grow the little splits a little more. I don't really know if that's true or not, but I did have it in that window every single day. Now that it's kind of cold, I did move it here into this room, and it's on the table underneath the window. So it gets nice light throughout the day, but it's not getting that harsh, like bright sun like it was in the window during the summer and fall. When I moved this plant from the window, I moved it kind of onto a table. And the reason I'm saying this plant loved the light is because this plant completely laid flat and was like growing this way towards the light. So it's still like leaning this way, but when I brought it into this room, I positioned it in a way that it would hopefully start leaning up towards the window this way. And it really, really worked, because this plant was leaning so far that it was popping out of the pot. And you can kind of see this little chunk here was under the soil before, but since it was leaning so hard, it was starting to like pop out of the soil. So I thought, oh my God, this plant likes light a lot more than I was anticipating. So once I brought it in here, it did start kind of straightening out, but it has a little ways to go still. As far as watering goes, I wait till this pot is dry and then I give it some water. That's what this is today. It's very, very light. I did put the moisture meter in there, and it's dry as a bone. The leaves still feel really good. They feel a little dehydrated, so I know it needs some water today. I know not every plant works with like the touching the leaves method that I love so much, but that has been what is working for me for this plant. I do let it get all the way dry, and then I bottom water it. So I set it in a basin of water. I let the water soak in through the drainage hole, and I wait till the top of the soil is wet. Then I take it out, let it drip dry, put it on that little drip tray thing, and then kind of leave it there until it dries out again. What else is going on with this plant? I haven't supplemented any humidity for it. I was thinking about doing it because there are a couple of brown spots on the leaves here. How can I position this a little better so you can see? I'm gonna have to just insert a picture because it's kind of hard to show you because this leaf is growing so funny right here. But there are some little brown spots on the white parts of the leaves, and that was one thing that I was very worried about with this plant, because any plant that I have that has a lot of white on the leaves, it always gets brown spots on it. So the Mandula pothos especially gets brown spots all over it. Snow Queen pothos, the Enjoy pothos, pretty much all the pothos that have a lot of white on them, they tend to get brown spots on the white parts of the leaves. I'm not sure why that is. Of course, when I was looking it up online, it's kind of like if you're trying to look up online how to diagnose something wrong with your plant, it's kind of the equivalent of trying to look up why you have dry cuticles on WebMD. If you go on WebMD and type in, why do I have dry cuticles? It's gonna say, oh, because your kidneys are failing or something like that. So don't try to diagnose your plant online. The advice you'll get is like all over the place. They'll tell you your plant has a fungus, it has a disease, you might as well just throw it away. I was looking up one time because I had found some sticky stuff on my peace lily, and one of the articles I read said, you might as well just get a new one. And I was like, what the heck? I'm not just gonna get a new one. But I did look it up, and of course I found that it was a fungus, it was an infection, cut off the damaged leaves, all kinds of stuff. So I didn't do any of that, but I did look it up to try to see if there was any remedies. Obviously, once it's already brown and spotted, you can't fix it, but you can kind of stop it from spreading. I don't know how to do that. So any of you guys that have a Thai constellation, let me know what you are doing. Does it need more light? Does it need humidity? Because I can do that. If you have one and it had those brown spots, or you might know why, let me know. Let us know in the comments so that way we can all try to remedy our Thai constellations. What else? That's kind of it. That's just a little update. Oh, look, there's a brown spot right there that you can see. There you go. So this is the kind of brown spots that are happening on a little bit of the white. There's one here, and then on this leaf here. Oh, look, there it is. Oh my gosh, I could have just bent it. There's a little brown spot right there too. Let me know what that is if you know how to remedy it. I kind of feel maybe it might just be it's dry. Like maybe I've let it get too dry. Maybe I shouldn't let it dry out all the way. I don't know. That's why I'm doing an update, just to kind of let you know what I'm doing, how it's going, and let me know your suggestions in the comments. I would love to know. So lighting, I've kind of given it a lot of light throughout the summer. It did great. It didn't start developing those brown spots until I moved it in here, because the room that it's in, normally we don't have a running heater in there. We just have a space heater, and it's great for us. We don't feel hot, we don't feel cold in there at all, but the plants I think might struggle a little bit. So I didn't want to leave this baby in there. I brought it in this room where the heater works and stuff. So maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe because it's not getting as much light as it was. I don't know. It could also be maybe because I'm letting it dry out all the way before I water it. Who knows? But let me know your tips and suggestions. I would love to know. But that's kind of it. That's my little update on my plant. Beautiful new leaf. Struggling with some brown spots, but other than that, the plant is doing lovely, and I don't regret this for a second. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I'll see you later in another planty video. Goodbye.